Shalom, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. Double honors being to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who wrote well and taught us His 100% truth. Much peace and blessings be unto you, hopeful, let that the not this word of thought, truth, and sincerity. To all you welcome, I do say Shalom. Coming in with a quick hit, going to being valiant. This is the book of Joshua, the first chapter, verse 6. Be strong and of a good courage. For unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land which I swear unto their fathers to give them. Now, touching up on that word courage, it really means to be determined, hardened, confident, right? And that starts off in the mind, mentally confident. It's the thought process, because if you aren't hardening your mind, then you start overthinking crap. And you know what then? It gets the best of you. Wherefore we must be confident. Right? I'm going to pull out the book of 1 Peter, the first chapter, verse 13. And it reads, wherefore gird up the loins of your mind. And what did the Lord tell Job? Hey, gird up your loins, for I demandeth thee. Yeah, because it's a man's job to be strong, masculine, brave, right? And to gird up your loins means to prepare yourself. So in this case, in the epistle of Peter, it means to mentally prepare yourself, man. And in Joshua's case, prepare himself for what? War, right? Because it takes valiant men to face danger in war, especially back then, the ancient warfare, where you're close up with the sword, slicing and dicing and dashing people, and literally taking souls point blank. Not this coward sissy crap you see nowadays with Esau's invention of the gun. They be miles away just shooting at each other. A piece of flesh is sticking out, shoot that. So you'd be shooting off ears and parts of fingers and using drones and whatnot. But back in the ancient world, that was a real man's game right there. That was a masculine war. That took guts, man. So it took valiant men to face danger because going back then, that was a conquest of Canaan, when they would be inhabiting the land by conquering it, by taking out the inhabitants, by killing the inhabitants, right? Those Semitic people. But going back to Joshua, the first chapter, verse 6, he had to have that confidence because the Lord will be with them. And for the Lord to be with you, you require that faith, which is complete trust and confidence in Him to be able to reap the full benefits of Him. Because if you doubt the Lord, well, sucks for you. Too bad. Too bad, so sad. This is the book of James, the first chapter, verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. Yeah, because going back to the prologue of Sirach, or the book of Ecclesiasticus, it goes into how all wisdom cometh from the Lord. Right? So you ask the Lord for it. The Lord has to give you this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And if you can't get that, well then, too bad. Which we know there's a difference between the wisdom of the world and the wisdom of the Lord. Right? And the people, the majority of these people, these non-elect people, and the heathen, they have this wisdom of this world. But continuing on in verse 6, but let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. Which when you look at that word wavering, all right, it means to become unsteady, right? Flickering, becoming weak, doubting, overthinking crap. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed, right? Now that represents chaos, but when water flows steadily and calm, hey, look what Bruce Lee said. Hey, be like water, because when water flows properly, it's calm and collected. You want to be calm and collected, steady, not chaotic and all over the place like when waves being driven with the wind and tossed to and fro, like you see in those movies, like in Moana. You see how when there's a storm in the ocean or over an ocean, it causes the waves to be all finicky. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So praying to the Lord for something, then doubting it is a big no-no. All right, that's not a thing. You know, when you pray something to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you believe that, and Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, it will be with you. Lord will. Right? So being strong and courageous, man. Doing the things you don't want to do, which again is a legacy of the prophets, doing things that you fear. All right, if I hadn't said it right now, it was called we're in this flesh, man. And we're bound to fear at times. But we have to look past that. You know, screw that fear, man. Hey, be not afraid. Jumping on Joshua, the 1st chapter, verse 9. It reads, have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. And I am telling myself this first and foremost, especially pursuant to a chat I had with one of the Yakim. So be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy power is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. And Yakim was speaking to us, going into how there be more that are in heaven which are on our side than, hey, some, clown, some damn, demon. Right? The angels encamp round about the righteous, and there's many precepts that go into that. I'm gonna pull one out. Go shepherd with me. Psalms 34:7. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him. Fear Yahweh Shai, and the Lord delivereth them. Right? Delivered from what? Any outcomes. Though we understand martyrdom is coming, the Bible was going into that. We have to consider that, but we're not supposed to fear. As a matter of fact, the book of Sirach, aka the book of Ecclesiastic, is the book, chapter 4, verse 28, goes into how to strive into this truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. All right, and it's really a beautiful thing to die for the Lord. All right, going back to Psalms 116 and 15, I'm gonna pull it out. Verse 15, it reads, precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. And now that's twofold, for literal and also metaphorical, because going back to Romans, the 12th chapter, it goes into how we're supposed to present ourselves as living sacrifices to Yahweh Shai, holy and acceptable. Which means to sacrifice our time and devote our time for Yahweh Shai. Right? But also in the literal sense. And yeah, plenty of the prophets died. Look at the apostles, man. They all got crucified too. Or not all of them got crucified. All of them just got, martyred. The apostle Peter, in this case, he did get crucified upside down. He chose to be upside down. Other prophets that they got beheaded. All right, skinned alive, or as they call it, I think they call it flayed or so, something like that. Speared to death. Right, sawn in half, stoned to death, beat down to death. So the prophets faced brutal deaths, but it's a beautiful thing, in the sight of the Lord. That shows, man. That shows, dedication, man. To Yahweh Shai, and the Lord shall, recompense those men beautifully in the kingdom. All right, that's a beautiful feat as well. You have many of our forefathers. They had, many feats. Well, one of those feats is what's it called? Dying for Yahweh Shai, dying for this truth. That's a great thing. And when you come back in the kingdom, everybody will know that they're gonna be like, God damn. This great man of the Lord died for the Lord. In boldness. That's a beautiful thing. Though it is terrible. It is a terrible thing. Yeah, it is beautiful. See how Yahweh Shai. But this lesson mostly delves into how you going out to the highways and hedges, man. He's just surrounded by all this gnarly nastiness, on the elements, the thing we teach that's labeled as extremism, a thing of terrorists, a treason, something contrary to this damn devil and other heathen nations, because we teach the prophecies we teach and the doctrines we teach, they all pertain to contrary to this place. We uphold biblical law, which is contrary to the Esau and the rest of the heathen nations, man-made, bogus, human pragmatic laws, right? The prophecies we teach go against this place, talking about how Yahweh will come down here, destroy this place, smithereens, and establish one sole kingdom, right? And all the heathen nations will be slaves to the nation of Israel. These are the prophecies, the doctrines we teach. So, all we do is just read the Bible. But what's it called? This thing is treason. That's why, Yakim always say, the men of the Lord that teach this thing, they risk their freedoms and their necks out to do so, right? And that's what's it called? That thing does incite fear, but we're supposed to look past that and endure. Suck it up in boldness. Hey, going back to Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, I'm gonna pull it out. Aside from the ridicule, there's a whole history of persecution. That's where that fear is, incited, but we're supposed to look past that. Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, verse 1, and then shall a righteous man stand in great boldness before the fears of such as Salakia. This ain't the right precept. I pulled out the wrong one. Salakia, this is going into, I believe it's, you could apply this to the cherry deliverance. When people around about you, they see you, they see you get beamed up. But this is not the right precept. I wanted to pull out a different one. Look, well, bear with me. Look, well, bear with me. Second Ezra's, the 2nd chapter. Come on, this is the right one. Verse 47. So he answered and said unto me, it is a son of Yahweh, which is Yahweh Shai. It's referring to Yahweh Shai, that man of tall stature, whom they have confessed in the world. Yeah, who's they? The men of the Lord, man. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. We're supposed to stand stiffly for this thing, man, regardless of the hate and whatnot, right? Stood so stiffly for the Lord. I'm ending off in the book of Jeremiah, 1st chapter, verse 17. Thou therefore gird up thy loins and arise and speak unto them that all that I command thee. Be not dismayed at their faces, lest I confound thee before them. Right? Confound thee before them. For behold, I made thee this day a defense the city, and an iron pillar, and brazen walls against the whole land, against the kings of Judah, against the princes thereof, against the priests thereof, and against the people of the land. And they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee, for I am with thee, saith the Lord, to deliver thee. Right? Because it takes valiant men to come out here and prophesy against this world and its inhabitants, man. So going back, he says, make thee a defensed city. It's metaphorical for the Lord putting that protection on us, man. Right? I'm going to end it off in the book of Psalms, actually. The 94th chapter. Verse 16, and it reads, who will rise up for me against the evildoers, or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Unless the Lord had been my help, my soul had almost dwelt in silence. And what's it called? When I said my foot slippeth, thy mercy, O Lord, held me up. Right? So the Lord will protect us and keep us. Like it says in Romans 8th chapter, verse 31, if Yahweh Shemel shall be for us, who shall be against us? Which the answer to that is no one. Right? Because we have the Lord, the power who is in control of all things. Going back, I forget what precept it was in, but it goes into how the Lord ruleth in the kingdoms of men. So, again, you have to realize the Lord's in power, in control of all things. With that being said, I'll find to the next one. I do say shalom.